Nope, I'm not ready.
Just let me know when we go live.
Ah!
Hey guys,
Hello.
just when we go live.
Hello, everybody. The few loyal viewers that are out there tonight on this cancellation of our one shot. We are instead doing some Candela Obscura, and it's absolute chaos. Thus, the name of our show tonight: Cancellation Chaos, Candela Obscura. ... Hello and welcome. Today's episode, we are going to be learning how to play Candela. Some of you may have seen the Critical Role playthroughs of the game, but we're going to go more in depth. We're going to walk through character creation, do a little bit of circle creation, and then talk about how to play the game before jumping into a short scenario with all our players here. So everybody, let's go around and let's introduce ourselves really quick. I guess I should do me first. I'm Dani Gage. Hello. You can find me on the internet at Bitterthorn, and today I'm going to be GMing Candela Obscura for the rest of these fun friends. Damien, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I will indeed. I'll just quickly say, yes, Hope and April, we love you. They are unavailable to make it tonight. So thank you to, as Dani said, for our loyal viewers. We're just playing it off the top of our head here. And I've never played Candela Obscura, so I've got no idea what's going to happen. Hi, I am Damien of the he, him pronouns. While I'm here, I will do a quick acknowledgement of Indigenous peoples as usual. So I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land on which I am playing from today, and pay my respect to their elders past and present. We have Daniel from the land of Aotearoa, the Maori people, and from North America we have people from Whenadenu, Tetafium, Hohokam, Tumakua, Creek, and Cherokee, although a couple of those are missing. And we pay our respects to Indigenous peoples all over the world. That's me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Dan, go ahead and take it away.
Me? What's up? I'm Daniel Denova, kia ora from New Zealand. I too have never played Obscuring of Candles. I've doused a few candles in my time. I've actually gotten like those like metal bell things put over the candle. Yes. Fun fact, candles, if they don't have no oxygen, they just kind of go out. So I'm figuring it's just that, but I don't know. We'll see. That's me.
Lovely. Duval, take us away.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Jacob Plicque, Duval King Jacob, all over the internets, he, him, pronouns, right here, doing it live. I'm excited. Hope you're excited. If you're not excited, get with the program. And now, Lee, I want you to not introduce yourself and only tell us about Idle Champions.
Hi, I'm Numb Pers Karn, and I'm an Idle Champions chest code of the Electrum variety. You may have seen me as playable characters such as Minsk. You can play as our Hope Lavelle, as Penelope Halfpint, and a slew of other characters in the Forgotten Realms. And we have a character code, Lee Goldberg, and if you just type that into your Twitter feed, you'll see at Goldberg337 on there and across the socials, and you can get all kinds of cool stuff like I'm a he him pronouns. Today I'll be playing Dearth Blathings because I make character names. You guys, I don't know. All I know is I'm
Excuse me,
Dearth.
Lee, I'm so sorry. I specifically asked you not to introduce yourself, and you're going way over.
I didn't. I introduced our champions.
Actually, I'm so sorry.
Our sponsor and our sponsor, Lee Goldberg, the code to unlock my friendship.
Oh,
you
always have the key to my heart, buddy.
The actual sweetest.
All right, shut it down. That's all I needed.
Okay, fantastic. Good job, everybody. And I guess I should also add my pronouns are she, her as well, because I forgot to say that. And really quick, I just wanted to do a little shout out to thank you for friends who helped donate for a new computer setup that hopefully is not going to die on us tonight. We're going to test it out and find out because I just booted it up today. So yeah, fingers crossed I didn't screw anything up. But yes, thank you so much for everyone's generosity. And also, Buy Nothing groups are amazing. I got my monitor for free. It's just some random person gave me a monitor. It's incredible. So if you don't know what those are, look on Facebook and check them out. They're amazing. Okay, everybody. Let's do this. Are we ready to play some Candela?
Hope
Shoot.
sound.
me.
Nope. We don't have the hope sound. Shit.
Let's do it. Oh, hope
Oh, yeah,
sound. No hope
Danny,
sound. Ready?
Hold on, wait.
Daddy, time
We've
to
got
sing.
candles, but we don't want to see those candles, so we obscure them.
You're
no,
suffocating
no,
them
no.
with no oxygen. I don't know.
Carbon dioxide.
Ba, ba. Boom.
All right,
Barbershop.
now clip
quartet.
that. It's our new official theme song anytime we do
Yes,
Candela thing.
It's our Cancellation Chaos theme song.
Oh boy.
Love it.
We just make it up on the spot. Amazing.
Yay!
All right, friends. Let's do this. Let's get some games stuff out. Okay, so let's start with, if you have like a little reference guide right here, you can check out the like character and circle creation. Oh wow, it's so bright. It's basically a little reference doc. If you need it, you can have it like next to you while we're playing, or if you're making your character sheet, and it kind of helps with a little bit of character creation. If you get a little confused on what I'm saying, you need to like kind of like rewind, because I know with my brain, a lot of times it stops and the other person just keeps talking and I have no idea what's happening. So that might be a little helpful if your brain's like mine. And you can pull that one up. Next, you're gonna need your character sheet. Depending on what character you have. You don't have to have this in hard copy. You could have it pulled up on the screen in front of you, keeping track of things. There's only a couple things to mark on this, so it's not going to be hard to keep track of if you write it down. I'm going to be using the Slink Criminal character sheet as a sort of example. And I also have...
That's the one I'm using, so you can do it.
Perfect! I also have the
Slink.
Slink Detective. So yeah, this will be easy for you. I also have the what is it, circle illumination sheet, but we're not going to really need that too much right now. That's all you need to start making a game, is everyone have their character sheets in front of them. I have a couple of things to go through though first before we talk about character creation, because there's a couple things to know. Let's see here. So I kind of think I want to start off with going over what in the world any of these terms actually mean on the character sheet. And then we'll go into like some safety tools after that. So if you take a look at your character sheet, it has, Candela Obscura. It has a space for your name, pronouns, the name of your circle, style. A lot of people get confused on what that one is. That's basically like inspiration words. So you could say like, her style is ethereal but gothic and has an intimidating presence. It just kind of like lets you know like the vibes of the character. Catalyst, that's going to be, when we get a little further, how your character got into Candela Obscura, like what made them want to join. And a question, which doesn't have to necessarily be a question about anything in the game. It could just be like a question you want to ask about the universe that your character wishes they knew. So that's the simple stuff. Now we're going to go into talking about this big old section on the side, which is basically all of your stats and things that you need to roll any dice. This middle section is abilities, and then this all is kind of just like wounds and stuff, which you're not going to use as often. So we're going over this left part of the sheet. So if you look at it, you can see what's called nerve, cunning, and intuition. These are like your kind of categories. Think of it as like if you were to play Dungeons and Dragons, you have your wisdom, your intelligence, and your charisma. And that has like further things underneath those categories. This is like your, stat, your big thing. They also call them drives in the game. So nerve, cunning, and intuition. And a way that might make it easier to remember is like, what are you more driven by? Are you more driven by your intuition? Like the voice in your head, in your gut? Are you more driven by your cunning, your desire to kind of manipulate people and situations? Or are you more driven by your nerve? Are you a brave person that will run headfirst into things? Under each of these drives, you have 3 different words that are actions. There's under nerve, move, strike, and control. And with these, I'll just keep writing. Cunning, there's sway, read, and hide. And under intuition, there's survey, focus, and sense. Now, with this game, it's a lot less like specific. So like with Dungeons and Dragons, if you're searching for something, you're going to be rolling a perception check or investigation check. If you're trying to do something in regards to thinking back to something you remember, you're going to be doing a history check. With this, it's a little more obscure and it can be kind of up to interpretation. So like, let's look at control. Under control, it says examples of using this action would be like driving or shooting or finesse. So anything that's going to take a lot of like pausing and focusing on it. Another stat that's a really good example is like hide. You're not necessarily trying to hide stealthy wise. You could also be trying to hide your inner thoughts. So instead of a deception check, you would be doing a hide. Does that kind of make sense to everybody so far? Okay, so you'll probably get to spend a little more time kind of as we put stats into our sheet to like look at these and see how to customize your character with them. But that's essentially how they work. The GM, when I'm calling for a roll, will tell you what I think that would go under. But you can also argue, be like, hey, I also feel like this actually would be considered a move action rather than a sway, right? So if I agree with that, then you could roll move instead. So that's what all of those are. Now, the dots that are underneath them are your action rating. This is how good you are at doing something. If you have no dots filled in under these action ratings, you basically are going to roll 2d6 and you're going to take the lowest number. So it's like rolling with disadvantage. If you have one of these circles filled out, you'll roll 1d6 to see if you can get your success. If you have two of them filled out, you'll roll 2d6. If you have three filled out, you'll roll 3d6. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, cool. So I think from there, what I'll describe is what you're even rolling and what you're trying to roll, because why fill in stats if we have no idea what makes what?
Do we use dice, Dani? Is that how?
Yeah, we have dice. I don't know what kind of dice though. Should we just roll them all and see what happens?
That sounds right up my alley, actually. I have.
Okay, perfect. It's very in line with Cancellation Chaos. So
I rolled 237.
Amazing. I think you succeed.
You win the game.
You just win the game. Everyone dies and the candles are obscured. Oh, shoot. Okay. So the way that this works is you are rolling d6s. You have a pool of up to 6 normal d6s, and then you have up to 3 gilded d6s, which are a special different color than the rest so that you can tell them apart. When you are going to roll to see if you can do an action, let's say we're going to do a strike and we have 2 dots filled out. That means I'm going to roll 2d6, right? And basically the results from this can either be a fail, a mixed success, or a success. And the numbers for that are 1 through 3, you fail. A 4 through 5, you get a mixed success, which is where you get what you wanted, but there's a little bit of trouble or complication. And a 6 gets you a full success. Now, let's say I roll those 2 d6s and I get 2 6s. That's actually going to count as a critical success. So that means you're going to get what you were trying to do and even more on top of that. Let's say you are rolling at like disadvantage. Let's say you have a 0 action rating is what it's called. So let's say we don't have anything filled out in strike. It's all zeros. You're rolling your 2d6 because you're at like disadvantage. And let's say I get 2 6s on that as well. When you're rolling with an action rating of 0, you can't get a critical success. It's basically not possible. You can, however, get the 6, which is great because that means you succeeded. And then the last thing we have to go through over rolling things is the gilded dice. So we mentioned how you can have up to 3 dice that are a different color. If you look on the side of these different actions, like move, strike, control, blah, 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 there's little diamonds next to them. And one of them is already pre-filled out on your character sheet. It's a little dark. You'll see it kind of bolded. That one you're going to get automatically. Similar to the actions that have like a thicker ring around them. Those ones you'll already have filled out as well. Those are like your starter stats. So with the gilded dice, what happens is if you are doing an action that has one of those squares filled in, you're going to replace one of your dice with a gilded dice. So let's say we were doing that strike action again a bit ago where we were rolling 2d6. We have a 2 filled action rating and we have a gilded die filled out. I would take one of those 2 dice and put it away. And then I would take a gilded die and put it in replacing the pool. So you're only ever going to have your amount total in your pool, but one of them is special. Any questions on that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait,
Yes.
what's a gilded dice again?
Yes. So a gilded dice is just a die that's a different color. I tend to use like darker colors for my dice pool, and then like a white or a yellow or a gold, some kind of die that stands out. That's going to be my gilded die. And again, the only time you use those is if the action you're rolling has that square next to it or diamond filled out. And you'll replace one of your dice with a gilded one. And so I forgot to tell you what that actually means when you're rolling. Maybe that'll make a little more sense too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was.
okay, sorry. Amazing. So we have our strike action we're going to roll, right? We have our 2d6. One of them's gilded. The other is normal. We roll that roll. Let's say I get like a 4 on the gilded die, which is a mixed success, and a 6 on the normal die, which is a success. Anytime that you choose the result of your gilded die, you're going to gain back a drive, which we'll go over in a second. But it's basically a resource that lets you reroll or give dice to other party members to help them do better. So it's very good to be able to choose your gilded die because it's a very rare resource, because you're not going to be doing a lot of actions where you're rolling that gilded die, that you choose that gilded die as the result and get to have that drive back. Going back to the example, if we have that 4 on the gilded die and the 6 on the normal one, instead of just choosing to have a straight success on the 6, I could be like, ooh, I really want that drive. So instead, I'm actually going to take the result of the gilded die, which is 4, which gives me a mixed success. And I'm going to take the slight complication that comes with it, but it'll give me back a drive that I can use to help somebody later or help myself. That makes sense? Okay, cool. So I think the last thing to explain about this section is the drives and the resistances. So if you look over to the actual drives, like the nerve, cunning, and intuition, there are like slots of 3. They're like in groups of 3, and you get 3 of them. So 3 groups of 3. Some of them might be pre-filled out on your character sheet, like they're a little dark gray. You can go ahead and fill those in top section and bottom section, because that means that's one of your starting drives. And what these do is essentially you're going to be given more points to spend on these drives to customize your character. But basically what a drive does, let me see if I can find a better, what words? I forgot the words I was using. I'm so sorry.
Can you go over that one more time about the filling out on the sheet?
Absolutely.
I printed
this
up
is
a
really
sheet.
It's a complicated part. This is actually the thing I had the most trouble with when I was learning this game. It's hard to see, but there's a top section and a bottom section. Do you see that where it says drives?
Yep.
And then there's the longer rectangles, and then there's max, which is the shorter rectangles at the bottom. You see that part?
Mhm.
So the max is basically going to show you how many you're allowed to have total of that resource. So
Oh my god.
on
Bless you.
Nerve, I have this one filled out already. I only have one drive max on this. So I can never
Mhm.
have more than one drive to spend in this category until like I level up and stuff. The top section is going to be filled in with pencil or something erasable because this is going to be a resource that's used or regained. And so if you have the max portion filled, you also get the top portion filled. Basically, it's your starting resource.
So go ahead and fill that in.
Yeah, so
And
you can go ahead
then
and
do
fill
you
that in.
like the idea being that you use it, you take it out?
Yes, that you'll erase it if you end up using it.
Got it.
That's what
I was thinking, the exact opposite. So I'm glad you clarified.
I'm glad you asked because
Yeah.
now I'm remembering what I was gonna say a little bit earlier when I was like, I
Yay.
forgot my words. And what it was what you can spend drive on. You can spend drive to help an ally. So let's say that Jacob's rolling, and you're doing like a criminal, right? So let's say he's like trying
Yep.
to sway somebody. He's trying to be all crafty and stuff. He's rolling a sway, but let's say that it's one of his lower action ratings. He doesn't have a great sway. So Daniel being a face could be like, oh, I'm gonna spend a drive to help Jacob with this sway because I'm very good at talking, because I'm a face, right? So then Daniel, you would spend that drive. You would erase the top portion, not the max. Those will always stay filled in. And Jacob will get to add 1d6 to his roll,
Got it.
which
Okay.
gives him a better chance of success.
So it's kind of like a help action or something.
Yes, it's basically a help action, but lots of people can do it. So it's not even just one person. Like a couple people can do it to make the dice pool bigger. So let's say all of you are going in on a roll, and Lee has like 2 action already, but all of you spend 1 drive each to add a dice. Then he can roll the max dice pool, which is 6, and have a really good chance of getting a 4 to a 6.
Right.
Even with the terrible rolls that Lee has.
Yes.
Don't waste,
Yes,
don't waste your resources on me, fellas.
Amazing.
Nothing's ever wasted on you, buddy. You're worth it.
No, yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then the last thing to explain here then is resistances. So you'll have points again, like I said, in character creation to spend on your max drives to have more in that category. If you put more drives in, like, say, this category or any of the others, and you get a group of 3 filled out, then you get 1 resistance. Did that make sense? So back.
Is that only like when you like level or something?
So no. So
When
like
would that
basically
happen?
what a resistance will let you do is a reroll.
No. When
so-
would we get to the point where we add the drives together to create a resistance?
Oh, yes. So let's say we're doing character creation, right? And let's say I choose to put like all my extra points that I get in drive in nerve, and like I fill up like 2 of these
Oh, we don't
chests.
start there.
So-
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now
So-
it makes sense. Okay.
No, I'll keep explaining this for anyone else who may not get it yet. So let's say I fill out like the first 6 drives for nerve, and I have those as my max, right? Then that means I get 2 resistances, and those resistances will always be available. It's not like if you spend a drive that you lose that resistance.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. The
getting
rules book
excited.
probably says this way more concise, but here we go. And yeah, so what you use resistance on is rerolls. So an example of how you would use this is, let's say I'm doing a control roll and I only have a 1 action rating, so I only get to roll 1 dice. But then Lee and Jacob spend drives each to give me 2 more. And I roll, but I only get a 1, 2, and a 1, which are all failures, and I want to re-roll. I can spend a resistance to re-roll, except I can only re-roll the amount of dice that I have in my own action rating. So I don't get to
Right.
roll their 2 bonus dice. I only get to roll the 1 die that I had originally.
Got it.
Cool. Awesome.
I'm so
Everyone
sorry.
got
How
that.
do I get resistances
Yes.
again?
Yes, resistances. So you
How do I
gain a
get them? Yeah.
resistance anytime. Well, you don't get them back very often, but essentially, when you set up your starting stats, if you have a set of the 3 drive filled out,
Okay.
you get 1 resistance, and that resistance always stays with you. It doesn't get lost if you choose to spend some of those resistance and go down to like 2 in that you have total to spend. You always have
Just
that
your max.
1 resistance.
It's
Yeah.
based on your max.
Yes, it's based on your max. Exactly. Thank you. Good use of words there. So that is how you get those resistances. And I think that kind of explains everything you need to know in character creation, really. After we do that, Google was talking to me. You'll choose one of your specialties from your role and one of your specialties from like your little special category. We'll explain that a little bit more. But are you guys ready to try to like make a character and stuff?
I'm
Yes.
ready.
Okay, now that we've listened to all the boring words. Okay, cool. So I know that you guys took a quick look at the different character sheets. Does anyone have an idea of what they want to play?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you want to
Yes.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna play. Haha. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna play a face journalist.
Perfect.
Called Nouvelle.
Oh, how do you spell that?
Nouvelles.
Beautiful. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have yours, and then Nouvelle.
Nouvelle.
Nouvelle. I you say it really beautifully. I cannot copy it that way. Who else knows what they want to do? Damien. Oh, we can't hear you.
Damien is playing a muted character, a weird mime.
I know he said he was thinking about doing a weird.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are. Yes.
Yeah, yes, I'm playing a
Found
muted
you.
character. Perfect. I'm playing a weird occultist.
Ooh, okay. Weird occultist. We love those. Okay, and then
And his name is Spice Ginger.
what's everyone's pronouns so far too?
He, him.
Well, what?
So he's a reverse Spice Girl.
Yep. Yep.
Dan, you look like you're thinking.
Not entirely sure, actually. Possibly anything you want, baby.
Okay.
And they're French.
That's a face thing to say.
much like
Ladies and
myself,
gentlemen.
anyway. So
Absolutely.
Well,
Lee,
you know what they say, roll
or-
what you know.
yes.
I'm
What are the rest of
gonna
them?
be a muscle soldier named Dirth Blathings.
Ooh, okay.
oh,
I
dear
hit
Lord.
stuff hard.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what's going on, novel? Hello.
Merde.
So
Just
good to be hanging with you.
In pronouns,
Oh,
Lee?
hello. Yeah, he, him.
Cool.
Just happy to be with the gang. You know,
Was it Dearth or Darth?
it's Dirth.
Dearth. Okay.
How does Dress say cowbell there, Lee?
Dirth says cowbell. What is
Can I
that?
tell you the
It's,
warm fuzzies that are in my heart right now?
What's cowbell
Being
there?
Americans. Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
Okay, Jacob, what are you thinking?
So, I mentioned this to the fine folks here earlier, but I'm going to be converting my first Blades in the Dark character to Candela Obscura. You would know him as Eyes. I will describe why that is when we get to character descriptions.
Hate it, but I love it.
But he is a him, and he is a slink criminal.
Incredible. So it looks like you were all very decisive. That made it really easy. Let's see here. So what we're going to do now is you guys are going to figure out your action ratings. So look at your character sheet right now. And there are different circles under nerve, cunning, and intuition that are all bolded. So you're just gonna fill those out right now. You get those ones automatically.
You
And
fill them in even because
Yeah.
they're bolded. Okay.
The bolded,
Yes.
the bolded
Yeah, kinda like
circles.
The
same thing
bolded
with the
circles.
drives.
And you
You
will do
f-
it with something erasable if you're
you
doing
fill them in?
this. Yes, because during the game, stats can change.
Danny, quick question.
Yes.
For whoever else may have done this, I don't know. What if you didn't use an erasable thing? I could just
You know
do
what? That's
X's and
okay.
squiggles, right?
Yes, you
I'm
can
gonna
do
do
that.
X's
And
and
then
squiggles.
honestly, it probably won't be until like a little later that you would have to change things anyways, because usually your stats don't change until you've taken a whole bunch of marks and you're hurting and you get a scar, which we'll explain a little later too. But
Going down
basically,
in
you have to have
stats.
been through a really rough time.
Look, we all know
Okay.
my character is gonna
Yes.
get scars and beat up and have a bad time. This is why I'm here.
You are
To
number
roll
one.
well.
You know.
Amazing.
One
So
hit
did you all fill
wonder.
those in?
Yarp. The ones that
Okay.
were bolded, yes.
Of the ones that
One.
were bolded. Now, of the ones that don't have any circles bolded, that are a 0, basically.
Yep.
Choose one and add a circle. The words are choose
Okay.
an action with 0 points and raise it to 1. Easy peasy.
Right.
What, like
So
one for
is-
each category, or just one from the 9 that
No.
are available?
Yes. So like, let's see here. Depending on your character sheet, it'll be like 3 to 4 actions that you already placed a
Yep.
action in. You filled out. So go to the ones that you haven't filled out any action ratings in.
And put
Those
one.
are at a 0. And then you're going to just choose one of them to raise up to 1.
Just one. Like from
Just
anywhere,
one.
like nerve, cunning,
Yeah.
intuition.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
based on your character, what do you think they're good at? Stuff like that.
You know, I read Sway and I thought it meant that I would just be very good at like
Sachet.
I mean, you could be good at that too.
Yeah, I would. I would
Multiple meetings, baby.
Daniel, sachet away.
don't tempt me.
I'm gonna put one in Sway
Boo, I
because
just made that
I'm just a
joke.
good pal, People,
Ah.
I'm a good pal.
Mhm.
Y'all like me, right?
Oh,
Yes,
I
You're
have
all
a
right.
face.
You're all right.
Okay.
I'll put one in insecurity.
Oh my gosh. What would that go under? Hide?
Reginald.
Is anyone sorry? Is
Oh,
anyone playing
it hurts.
soldier?
It was the Reginald part.
It hurts.
Oh.
You're playing a soldier?
Oh yeah, I got punches, I got move, I got strike, I got control. That's
Okay.
all I got.
Beefy boy.
Okay.
That's what we need, man. You need muscle,
Yes. The muscle's
'Cause
very good
when
at with her.
Daniel's talking about like shit, we need you to be like hammer.
I was
Mhm.
thinking about taking one into control so I can use this, but
Oh!
you know, I I'm not sure.
That was too fast.
I missed
know,
it. What was
the
it?
heck? I'm shocked.
A
little
gun.
prop gun.
It was a gun, Damien.
It
I
doesn't
got
really.
one in
Ah.
It's a prop. It's
It's made of
Wow.
chocolate.
it's made.
I
of
got
lots of
one in
dreams.
drip cut. So
I
I
have a single mug.
I have a Stein. Which
You know how,
has
as
a weapon.
a journalist, we like to use props.
Oh god. Okay. Okay, next thing.
I told you we were gonna be a mess. Anyway,
Yes, we're gonna be able to just roll. Okay, now you're going to take 3 more action points and distribute them however you want. The only thing is that you can't have any action that starts above 2.
got it.
So is this a second one now? We putting.
What? Why
Oh,
did we have
3.
1 and then 3? Why not just have 4?
Yeah. So remember, it's
Because basically you don't want to have because these can go anywhere, these can stack on top of other ones. They wanted to make sure that like at least one stat that doesn't have anything in it gets filled, because otherwise the other stats, if they were to choose to put all of them in wherever, could get way overpowered, I believe is the logic behind that.
So
Yeah.
the first one that we got was you could put it anywhere, and then
No, the first
Yes,
one you
anywhere
got
that-
has to be in something that has nothing already.
Yes.
Then the
Gotcha.
next 3 can go anywhere so long as it doesn't go more than 2.
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly.
So the 3 that you're getting now, if you have something that only has 1 pip, you can make it 2 pips. Pip pip.
Pip, pip.
Pip, pip,
I just did
hooray!
it before Daniel could do it.
Yeah, you did. I'm
It
down.
belongs
It's
stocking.
fucking vocal stems, dude. Like, I can't stop. Damn it.
Yes,
I
and
think
then
I'm
if you
done.
have something that already has 2 in it, you cannot add a third.
Right.
I put mine, but all of my stuff is in sway and survey for those
Ooh.
that maybe are also that. Like, so I
gonna
have
be real
2 in
interesting.
move, 2 in strike, 1 in control, 2 in sway, and 2 in survey.
Ooh,
I
okay,
got 2 in
okay.
control, 2 in hide.
Good.
I'm
Because
all
it's my
about
concept
this.
is
I have to-
Sway, he's just a likable knockaround guy. Like he's a sweetheart.
Aw.
He won't let anyone get hurt who shouldn't get hurt, and he will very hurt the people trying to hurt his friends. But he's just a big doof.
Yes, we love him.
And then survey, he's got to keep his people safe, so he can spot stuff, track. He can search those dangers.
Mm.
And then control, because Daniel, hold up the gun.
Well, I do mean is this?
Do you have a smaller gun? That's intimidating to me. Okay, that's what I've got.
I like to go in. How do you American say?
No, he's probably
loud
got a
and
shotgun.
Proud. So no points in hide is what I'm saying.
Sick. Okay. Everyone good with that? Any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I did the opposite thing. I was like, yeah, excited. Not yeah, I had a question. Sorry, I just panicked
got
for
you.
no
You're
reason.
just like, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, no,
I'm having
yeah,
fun.
no, yeah.
If you ever
Yeah.
need to describe me to someone, everyone out there, that moment is perfect.
Yeah, so clip that.
Yeah.
And that is Jacob's new introduction. And then
Yep,
also don't
this is
forget
my
to clip
intro now.
our music.
I'll make it a little alert on the channel. Wait, I panicked.
Okay.
I panicked, and then instead of letting it slide, I pointed it out a bunch.
Yeah. And then I couldn't stop talking about it because neuro spicy.
Yes. Oh,
Mine
You
is that
heard
I'll
it.
do
Euro
something and spend the
spicy.
rest of the time apologizing for it.
But now get ready
I don't
for
apologize
when the
for
mind
anything.
players
You can
come. It's
apologize
now
for me.
neural spicy.
I'm so
Mm.
sorry for Jacob. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing for Jacob. I'm so sorry.
Then I pulled out my gun.
And moving on, we're gonna go and spend some drives now because we were gonna get distracted forever. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna spend 6 drive points however you like. You can't have any drives start above 6 at character creation. So of those little drive points that we talked about earlier, yeah, just fill out top and bottom as you spend each point, both available and maximum. And just
How do
choose
I
them and
raise
put
my
them out.
maximum?
This is how you do it right now, is like you're spending the point to increase the maximum and have it.
Oh,
available.
it goes all into maximum right now.
Yes,
And how many
Okey-dokey.
numbers is
I
this?
believe. You have 6 points.
6. Okay.
So you
thank
could put like 2 in the top. You could put like 2 in each one. You could put all of them in one of the categories if you don't have anything filled out. You basically just can't have above 6 maximum. If that makes sense.
And so
or you can only have 6
to-
maximum in each category.
reiterate, the drive is what we use for all our skills, or is that for?
It is it's for giving help. So you
Oh.
can like spend drive to help somebody. You can I think you can even spend it to help yourself. You can be like, I need more dice for this roll because I have a 0 action rating and I have to roll 2 at disadvantage. So I'm gonna spend 1 drive. So I only roll 1. You can do that as well.
I'm 3.
Can I
across
run
the
through what I
board.
did?
Sorry. Let me finish up with Daniel and then we'll go to Lee. Daniel,
Yeah.
did you have a question still?
I
Nope.
just said I am 3 across the board.
Oh, 3s across the board. That's smart. I
too.
like it. Lee, what was your question?
Okay, so here's what I did. So we have 6 points to spend. Yes.
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 Okay, and this is just going in our max column. Yes.
It max and available. You get
Right,
them
because-
immediately. Yeah.
Okay. So I started with my character sheet. I started with 1 in nerve and 2 in intuition. And
Yeah.
those don't count towards my 6.
No.
So then I put 2 into intuition, making it
Mhm.
3 in intuition, which gave me a resistance. Yes.
Yes.
I put 2 into cunning, no resistance.
Got you.
And I put 3 into nerve, which filled out. So it makes it 4 because of the one I already had. So I have 1 resistance and then 1 carryover. And then I can
Yeah.
put dots in all of that because I now have officially those drives. So I have 3,
Yes.
2, 3, or 4, 2, 3.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That
I'm
is
really glad
correct.
you
Making
said-
sure that I did it
mentioned the
right.
resistances because it reminded me that I needed to add them. So thank you, Lee.
Yes,
You're
and
welcome.
let's
That's why I
we'll
mentioned
reiterate
it.
that. Any group of 3 drive, make sure you mark that resistance down.
Oh, well, I did not forget to do that at all. I was fine. I don't-
No, you totally knew. Perfect. Okay, so another thing, we're almost done. You have 1 gilded action, 1 action that's gilded already with the diamond. Make sure that's filled out. It'll be a bolded diamond. And you get to choose 1 other action of your choice, whichever one.
Forget to diamond.
And gild that. Yes.
Oh.
So in the end, you will have 1 that was chosen for you already, and then you will have 1 that you chose.
Say that again. I missed that.
Yes. So yes, Ollie. You're going to fill out the gilded diamond that is already bolded for you in
Yep.
there on the left,
Yep.
far left side of the column. And
Yep.
then you're going to choose 1 action from any of the actions to
Yep.
also gild your choice.
Gotcha.
So anytime I make a strike or a sway roll, 1 of my die is gilded.
Yes, correct. And some
I made the
ability,
mistake of
some like
choosing red.
classes even have special abilities that let them gild an additional die or gild other people's die, stuff like that.
I made the mistake of choosing red for my. I'm using like a PDF editor,
Oh yeah.
and it just looks like someone's bleeding on this fucking sheet.
That sounds on theme.
Yeah, sounds right.
Okay. Everyone's good
Question
with that?
Outside.
Oh yes,
of
question.
The current work through. Under control. 'Cause obviously, all of the actions have like different like names for different things that we can do. I'd love to know, Dani Gage, what finesse means to you.
Ooh, finesse. So anything that's kind of like finagly, like it could be like picking a lock or trying to cut a single wire to stop the
Oh,
bomb.
okay.
So it's pretty
I mean,
dexy.
Yeah, things that are kind of it's not like a dexy one, but like I think that a lot of times arguments can be made for, different things. It's very
I
loose.
figured because that
Yeah.
finesse was in Blades was my like. I would like to argue for all 5 of these things to be finessey.
Yeah.
And I'm specifically referring to things like backstab maneuvers and stuff like that. But obviously, we'll see where the situation takes us. But
Yeah.
I was curious.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'll probably depend on like how you describe it,
Yeah.
and position yourself.
Certainly.
I also
So-
have a question that's a little bit
Yes.
outside of this. What are
Please.
your thoughts on like pears? The fruit pears.
Pears, I think they smell really great. Sometimes they make my lips tingle. I have like a little bit of this weird allergy thing where like some fruits make my lips tingle. I'm not like allergic, but I'm not gonna die, but like it does not feel great.
That
Okay,
was
great. Thank you.
shockingly specific. I respect it so much.
Oh, specific. I love it.
So what you're
And
saying
yes.
is every time you eat this fruit, you give in to despair?
Not gonna lie, I was resistant to that one because I was waiting
Leave.
for you to say something about prickly
Leave.
pears. So
Leave.
I just like I counterspelled.
Yeah, just block.
Well,
block,
it
block.
looks like I feigned the fruit of my labors. So
I don't know how you do it.
It just keeps
Okay.
going for some reason.
It just keeps going and it doesn't stop. It's brilliant, but I don't understand. Okay, so
you
now you
know?
guys
Look, I made a pun in the season finale. Like I don't know what more you want from me, okay?
proud of
Well-
me for that, honestly.
well,
I was really
Destroy
proud of
your
it too.
soul.
Well, Monsieur Bond, I want you to.
Fair enough. No notes.
No notes. I have notes, however, on what are you guys gonna choose for your abilities?
Segway.
What? So you
No.
guys each have a role at the top. If there were multiple of you playing a slink, you would both have an ability that like the same abilities to choose from. However, specialty is completely different from the other whatever role. So choose one from your role and one from your specialty and fill those in. Take a minute to read them.
One of each.
In fact, yes, you get one of each. Says select one ability from your role and one from your specialty.
So what are we doing? So my French
Oh,
brain just
no.
went.
No worries. I got you all. Same. So what we're gonna do now is this middle section that has role and then your what is it? Designation and then your specialty, your class. You're gonna choose one from the top and one from the bottom of the abilities.
Okay.
Yeah. And once somebody knows what they're choosing, let us know and we can like read them out.
I'm
Thank
happy
you.
to choose or announce my choices.
Yeah,
so
go for it.
as a reminder, eyes is a roll slink and specialty is criminal. The slink ability that he chose, and by he I mean me, I guess, is called Saw This Coming, because he's a hell of a strategist, which means 3
That's a
times
good
per
one.
assignment. You may add 1 dice to a circle member's roll without spending drive by saying how you prepared for this kind of situation together. Kind of like a Blades in the Dark flashback. So I thought that was a perfect fit.
Very much so. Yes.
I
This
can
is
read,
actually
you
that's what
guys.
I have in my home game. I have that same ability too.
Twinsies. And then for his specialty, as his criminality, if you will, we went with tricks of the trade. You've learned how to navigate tricky or dangerous situations to keep yourself out of harm's way. On any hide or sway roll you make, you may spend 1 nerve, which I was like, I don't know what that is. Well, I'm sure we'll find out, to lower the stakes before rolling. If this is already a low stakes roll, you may not use this ability. So
Yes, I can explain that if you like. So 1 nerve is one of your drives.
oh,
Yes. So instead of using it the typical way where you use it to help, you basically can spend it to make the roll lower stakes. And
Got
what
it.
that means is there's basically instead of like DCs or whatever ability checks in this, there's different stakes. You have like your standard stakes, your high stakes, or your low stakes. And basically all that means is like with high stakes, if you don't succeed, there's going to be really bad consequences. If you have like meet like, you know, standard stakes, if you don't succeed, something bad may or may not happen. And if it's low stakes, there's probably not going to be like consequences that are awful, basically. So basically what that ability does is it makes it so even though you may not roll super high, it's not gonna matter because the roll becomes less of an impact on the story, basically.
So if it says you spend 1 nerve, it's spending a
Yes.
drive, but from your nerve
Yes.
pool. Like you
Yeah,
like cunning
so-
is its own pool and intuition is its own
Yes.
pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Then I'm
absolutely
ready.
right, Yeah.
I have chosen.
Hey, wonderful. Let's go with Lee first, because Lee, you're already first. You want to go ahead
Roll
and
for
roll us
it.
what you, or tell us what you got or chose?
All right.
Dan will
Darth
go.
chose behind me. So I can spend 1 nerve to choose an ally in the same scene who is about to take a mark from a phenomenon. Then I describe what I do that allows me to take that mark instead.
I love
So
it.
I can helps people and I'll take your pain from you.
So
And
you're
then
playing Dan.
the other one, I'm playing
I'm
Lee.
just kidding. Yeah, oh, buddy. Come here. Come here. Just come here. Come here.
No matter where I go, I can't stop playing the dad of the group.
Oh,
Curse you, Miles.
Roll what you know.
I love you, Miles. And then I'm kind of torn on the other one. I chose this one because I think it goes along with the same line of just being so like safety focused on like the people around him and things like that. So I wanted sharpshooter because I want to be good at shooting things, but I chose tactician. When in a dangerous scenario, I may spend one nerve to ask the GM a question. How do I get to safety? What possesses the largest immediate threat to my circle? Where is the target going to move next?
Absolutely. Very, very handy. Okay.
That's it. Next. Who's
Fantastic.
next? I don't care.
Yes.
Go to
think
Daniel. I don't even
Dan-
care.
Daniel, were you next?
I will go. I will. Phenomena. Let us see. So what did I choose? I chose sweet talk. You know how to work a room after you make small talk with someone. You may add +1d on any read roll you make in which they are the target. If your current cunning resistance is 2 or higher, that die is gilded. So that's one.
Yeah.
The other is insider access. Your line of work offers your special privileges. Once per assignment, automatically gain access to an important person or place by using press credentials gear.
Perfect. Yeah. So you basically can get in places really easily, and you get to roll a lot of those gilded as long as you don't use resistance, which is really great for being able to help people in that category for cunning, I think it is. Amazing. Damien, what about you? Do you have your stuff picked out?
I do.
Tell us about it.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Phenomena, is that just a generic term for things like ghosts and stuff?
Yes, great question. So what phenomena is how magic with a K appears in this world. So let's say there's been stories of a strange ghostly figure appearing out on the moors every other week on Tuesday at 3 a.m. That would be considered a phenomena that is happening. So anything sort of odd and strange, supernatural.
Okay, awesome. Well, I am choosing the Great Wards. You can inscribe and maintain a warding symbol on one person at a time. Describe the material they must hold to bind it, e.g. salt, sand, etc. They take +1d on move rolls against phenomena.
Lovely. Yes. So if something magical is coming at you, that's very scary. They basically have help against it. There's another one. Yes.
Yes, and my specialty for my occultist is speak their language. You can speak the supernatural language of any phenomenon you encounter. Describe what strange or terrifying way you communicate with each other.
Ooh, okay. I love that. And I love that it's like very narrative and that you get to describe stuff. Okay.
All interpretive dance.
Interpretive dance.
Oh, geez. Okay. Wonderful. Now we have moved on. You guys have chosen your abilities. You're going to add just character details. So, we are going to describe a little bit about our characters. Basically the part at the top of the character sheet that says style catalyst question. If you have that right now, you can go ahead and tell us what it is. Honestly, this is a pretty short session, so it's okay if it's not super in depth. It's more just like inspiration for how you role play in a longer game and how it gives people, ways to interact with you. So does anybody want to go first in describing their character to us? And I will say
that was me. Sorry, I just, I can't hold in the gas.
That's my dog. I'm so sorry. They're very rambunctious right now and just like freaking out over a ball. I will say that you guys will have started out knowing each other at the beginning of the assignment. Did you have a question, Damien?
I do. Can you quickly say what style, catalyst, and question is again? I've forgotten.
Yes, absolutely. So style is basically it's a description of your character, vibes. Think vibes.
Gotcha.
If that were to replace style, that's pretty much what it is. Catalyst is going to be why you joined Candela Obscura, what sort of thing inspired you to join? I know for my first character in playtest, it was like, oh, my brother disappeared, blah, 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 stuff like that.
Yep.
So
I
the
can go.
catalyst to your rifle, what you're doing?
Sorry, and then question is the answer you're hoping to uncover during your investigations. This one's a little more like obscure. I
What
don't.
about the candles? Are we, could that be a question?
That could be a
Candles.
question. There are in this world lots of lighthouses that you, as a Candela Obscura member, would know are like different kind of portals, or things that keep bad things out. You could have a question relating to that. I probably should tell you a little bit more about the world in a second.
I can go on character stuff. If
Yeah, okay, go for it.
All right.
Tell us about your character.
So Darth Blathings is a soldier. He was a soldier. And he saw some combat, and his unit never lost anybody because he was always there to keep them safe, and he could take a hit, and surprisingly, he could take a round or two. But one time in a pretty intense battle, both sides pretty much laid down their arms because something very supernatural was happening. And everyone was scared, stiff, terrified, couldn't move. Everyone except for good old Darth. He got up. He saw that people needed help from whatever this thing was, and instead of thinking, he acted. And he must have done something right because the thing went away. So he his catalyst to getting in there was when Candela approached him and said, like, they were trying to kind of scrub the event. They heard the tales of this Darth, and the Darth was doing what he needed to do in a situation, not knowing what it was. And so, he was just willing to do what needed to be done. And
Tell
he
me.
was just stacked with muscles. So they were like, all right, this guy.
Yes. What was it about this creature that could only be overcome with the raw strength that Darth has?
So it would basically, every time it looked at you, this like kind of looking like a skeletal floating thing with a crow's head. Anytime it looked at you, the glowing purple lights would make you see just the most horrible misery you could imagine. And for Darth, he's already been seeing the most horrible misery he could imagine. So he just saw a thing to punch. And his mind, he was able to make it go blank, and just he went out there, fired off all the rounds, and then when those rounds were done, he just beat the living hell out of this crow monster.
Yeah, fantastic.
And then the question he has is there a power to be obtained that would give Darth the ability to protect everyone? It's too much, but for Darth, that's all he wants. And his style, thanks for ruining this word, internet, is dad. He's a dad. His style is very dad vibes.
Love it.
That's
I will
Darth.
say.
Shape
Okay,
up there.
wonderful. Cool. Okay, saving that for later. Okay, anyone else have some things?
That's a tease by Dani. I'll go. So Eyes is a tall, dark, and handsome glass of water, quite lanky, typically seen wearing a long purple trench coat, hiding a suit of yellow and green, like typically you see like a kind of yellow vest with a green tie. Appears to be mid-30s or so. His nickname, because it's not his real name, Eyes, is pretty apparent when you see him. Comes from the fact that his eyes seem to glow a dim yellowish red in the dark. For those of you of the more magically inclined, there is a hint of, I forgot the term in Candela Obscura, but essentially there is some arcana happening in there.
The term for that would be
but he
bleed.
Say again?
Your eyes are bleeding.
Bleed. Yeah.
Yes. He typically hides these eyes behind spectacles that are shaded a light green. Think like Aaron Davis of Prowler fame from Marvel Comics. He's bald with a full beard, but typically covers it with a messenger cap. And I got some art I'll share with you because it's fun.
What? I love that so much.
I put it in a little Discord.
Oh, fantastic. I have to look later.
So that's I suppose his
It's very cool. I looked.
style. Catalyst. Why has he joined this crew here? A bit newer in town, searching for a bit of a fresh start, but also recognizing sort of the ways of the world and the skills that he has mastered and manifested for himself. Finds himself in situations like this, which leads him to his question. For Dearth is not the only dad, because eyes struggle. That's a weird way to say stuff. Eyes apostrophe is his struggle. His struggle. There we go. His struggle is as he continues to navigate the darkness of his specialty. Can he still be a family man? Because he's got a wife and kid, and his wife and him are quite estranged.
Do they know about you being in Candela?
His wife does. Actually, his kid does too. But his kid and wife don't know.
Wait,
Wait,
so
they don't know that each other know?
Correct.
Got it. Ooh. How did your
Yeah,
child
spicy.
find out?
Coming home late, injured from a job one night. Dad's maybe not a school teacher. He got busted.
Okay. And then I kind of want to ask one more. What was the nature of the injury that was so out of this world that your child knew there was no possible way other than something?
Because he had to get new eyes.
Ooh, it was his eyes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Love it. Okay. Who's next?
And if you want to know their names, I can tell you, but it's fine.
I
Amazing,
will
yes.
go next. So, of course, Nouvelle is reserved, cool, long fuse. So it just means that he can take a lot of banter or people, make fun of him or whatever. He'll just be like, okay, sure. If that's what gets you up at night, is fine. Loves his banter. Is sad on the inside, but on the outside we'll just keep it all candid. His catalyst is that he wants to uncover the truth of his wife's death. So, for the longest time, he lived in France, funnily enough, and he had a good marriage for a good decade. But then, one night he woke up. He worked in sort of news, press related stuff there. He woke up and he heard this strange noise. He turned over to see if his wife was there. Wife had gotten out of bed. He was like, okay, yeah, well, maybe I'll just go up and see, and I'll get myself a nice glass of water, probably with some ice. And as he got up, he saw that his wife was just pinned to the door, alive, head twitching, and then the eyes glowed yellow. And as the eyes glowed yellow, it just fizzled out, and then she screamed, gasped, fell to the floor, dead. Thought it was a bad dream at first, so he went back to bed. He'd been having nightmares. Woke up, body was still there, but then there was a knock on the door. And some people downstairs, but he was in shock. He did not answer the door. About 15 minutes later, one came up anyway. Did not know how they opened the door, but they did. This individual in some sort of trench coat. He can't quite remember. And they had something to do with candles or magic or weird stuff. About a year passed and he joined up. Joined up to find out, what killed his wife. Well, since this organization does not know either, so their goals aligned. He joined. Yes?
So when eyes came to you to investigate this phenomena that happened to your wife, and you saw his glowing eyes, what happened afterwards that made you realize that eyes was on the right side?
Well, for one, he wasn't rising, twitching. What's the color of Eyes' eyes?
A yellowish red.
Oh. Well, that would have been a lot of fucking explaining to do. Probably to try and get,
For the longest
Get
time,
him-
because he very rarely takes off his glasses, you would have seen them as green
green. Okay.
until
would have
there was
softened it.
trust between the two.
Mm.
So you probably only just now found out what they look like truly.
Nouvelle does not trust you now, not fully. But it is sort of a benefit of the doubt kind of trust there. But he is probably, he, they, she. Nouvelle is going to be wary of you. But otherwise,
He probably knows and kind of loves it. Because it means you're not
interesting.
naive.
Look, you appear with yellow eyes, and then I told you what you know, and then you're just like, "Hey, I've got yellow eyes," Nouvelle is just kind of like,
If I'm good at my job, what does it matter?
That does to me. But that's the catalyst. Question is actually really left field. You won't probably guess this one, but it's who the fuck killed his wife?
Yeah. So controversial, so brave.
So brave.
So brave.
Fantastic. Damien.
All right, listen to you, Drongos. It's Spice Ginger
fuck.
here, traveling clown from far away. Some may call the lands down under, mate. And, well, we'll have a cold one and discuss it later. So, you beauty, I'm the traveling clown. I've got ginger hair. I've got all orange jumpsuit there. And some people say I'm the worst clown from down under, but I don't believe it. I believe bloody oath, mate. I'm the best. And the catalyst and the question is about the same, mate. I mean, I once saw out in the outback after a bloody 3 days on the tinnies, I saw what I thought was some dancing ghosts. And I have come to this place to find the secret of the dancing ghosts because I hear they're everywhere.
Oh my God, incredible. You're a cultist clown.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
I am.
I will just go ahead and say it. Both myself and Eyes actually like one of Damien's characters. It has happened, everyone. We did it. We did
I
it.
wish I had like one of those poppers.
Happy New Year.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what was it again? Dancing
Ghosts.
I'm a traveling clown, mate.
dancing ghosts. Okay.
No,
Traveling clown
Yeah,
looking for
that's what it
dancing
is.
So
Yeah,
ghosts.
traveling
Circle's name,
clown. What about these? Let me see. I want to form this question right. How did you become an occultist? I need to know this
Dancing,
now.
dancing ghosts.
Dancing ghosts, mate. I mean, they're not as good as up here, apparently. But just then I found a local bloke who knew about the dancing ghosts, and I just got into it.
It sounds like a damn
you-
band name. Well, I love the fucking
Did the dancing
ghost.
ghosts initiate you into their cult?
No, I wish they bloody would, mate.
Ah, okay. Amazing.
I've just been hanging out with a few drongos over here who think they know what they're talking about.
Incredible. What is it that they like worship or serve about these dancing ghosts that makes them a cult?
Well, the fact that they're dancing, because we're bloody terrible at dancing. I'll tell you that.
That's
And
the cover.
if I want to get up in the world of clowning, I need to learn how to dance better.
Hey, ghosts.
Absolutely.
What are you dancing about? You did. Why are you
You want to
dancing?
share? You want to share some information on why you dance so much?
That's what I want to know.
Oh gosh. Okay, fantastic, everybody. So that is your character details. We're gonna do a very quick version of this so that we can do a little bit of game. We're gonna form some quick relationships. I think a little bit. We already saw that Eyes and Daniel had a little bit of a connection. But tell me, choose like a word to describe like the relationship between you, and then explain kind of why that is. There's some words for inspiration that I'll throw at you if you want to listen up. And we're just going to try to find a relationship with towards each person in the party, if we can. We're just going to do this fast as possible. So here's some relationships that you can use. There's bully, champion, your confidant, a coworker.
Just a bully, straight bully. You can just bully someone
A
else.
bully.
in
Be a
the
bully?
fucking
I've had
party.
somebody be
Just
my
a
bully, and it's so fun.
That's
Ah,
fun.
you loser! Nugget!
Yeah. I was like this rich criminal girl, and like the other person was like this child, basically, who just like was absolutely disdainful of my lifestyle. Enemy, family, lover, mentor, muse, old friend,
I would
rival.
wholeheartedly be this clown's bully.
Yes. Okay. I don't think there's any question about why or how. That's great.
Yeah.
I think you need my consent for that, and it is given
This is
wholeheartedly.
true. Okay.
Look,
We have a few more. There's rival, sibling, soulmate, stranger, and ward. Yes, Lee, you had something to say.
Well, because I can't get out of the whole like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm playing myself. Oops.
Yeah.
I think that probably Dirth's first like mission that was like investigating a thing, like going with them, was probably Novelle's wife's murder. So like he was there, he like basically like put a blanket around, like when stuff was going around, he was there like trying to kind of calm you down and ease you. And that he saw how Eyes carried himself in that, like just how he was able to just get the job done kind of thing. So I think he sees Eyes as a mentor.
Absolutely.
I think he probably sees Novelle as not family, right? But like he wants to protect his humanity from what he's seen, because he knows that Novelle joined this not because of like, yeah, let's do it, but more of like, so he's just like, whatever you need, just know I won't let you get hurt.
Yeah, that could be Ward in a way.
Ward, yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
Ward, but minus the like,
Yeah.
the kind of,
Minus the, like,
yeah.
guardianship aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can even
And
actually,
then
there's
he-
space to write the
And he's Spice
relationship.
Ginger's coworker.
Exactly. It's just a business relationship.
I think
so
he understands every 10th word spice. Like he loves the guy. He thinks he's hilarious. But he doesn't. Like, you talk really fast.
You talk really slow, mate. Speed her up.
Oh, how I wish that this fucking clown was a mime instead.
Mime, what's that?
Well, for starters, they don't talk.
Sounds bloody boring, mate. Can I be Could I like have a brotherly relationship with Eyes?
yeah,
What's
siblings.
really funny is I'm so
family.
glad you said that, Damien, because you know what I wrote down for you? I
Mm.
wrote down the word amusement. And I think that he would allow that that's really funny.
I am the annoying younger brother. Yes.
Yeah. Because he's never had like outside of like obviously his wife and kid, like parents are long gone, like only kid. So
Do we have any other relationships that are sticking out? Otherwise, I'll keep moving on.
With Eyes, would have been I don't know what this would fall under, but it would have been trust, lots of trust. Probably one of the closer people. And now that has been super downgraded to keep at arm's length.
Mm.
which is really
What's
interesting
it
because
called?
like from Eyes' side, the word I wrote down was empathy. Because you're experiencing his worst nightmare, which is he fucks up enough where someone doesn't, because he could come after me, cool, I'm coming, then I'm taking you out. But if you really want to hurt me, you take out my wife.
Which is fascinating you bring that up, because a lot of these roles don't necessarily have to be like mirrors of each other. They can be very different. Like one person has a different relationship to that same person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it's complicated.
It's complicated.
It's a Facebook relationship. Yep, that makes sense. Because I think he probably processes it as you're just like in mourning and you're just like acting out and being an ass in your way.
Oh.
Yeah, set amusement. Okay. Oh, I didn't mention dearth. What I wrote down for dearth is respect / underling.
Ooh, yes.
So he's probably I trusts you the most.
Not sure about the death. Don't know how. There is nice, nice sentiments.
Could be stranger.
Like your vibe, but not too much in common to talk about. So acquaintance.
Do you collect buttons? Because I have all these cool buttons. Did you want to talk about these?
It's bully now. It's bully.
To bully everybody.
No, we're back to that. Got it.
He doesn't actually collect buttons.
He just collects these hands.
He does have knuckle dusters.
This is so fun. I'm so glad we did this.
This
is fun.
It's fun character creation.
It is.
So I'm looking at the gear here.
Yes.
And
ask me questions.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's probably got a gun.
So this is a
but
fun
he
thing.
he also has knuckle dusters. I want him to have like knuckle dusters, and so on the left hand, the middle two knuckles have the word B on it, and on the right hand is the word nice.
Nice.
See.
And
Love
that's
this so
what he
much.
goes to mostly. He probably doesn't use his gun too much. And if I can only have 3 items, he probably doesn't bring a gun.
So you actually get to decide when you have these. So this works very Blades in the Dark as well, where let's see. It says
choose when
you
you need
choose
it.
them as you go. Yeah.
Yep.
So essentially, you don't have any gear on you until suddenly you do, and you just
You
check
do.
it off
You
of the
always
list,
did.
and you get that up to 3 times per session or assignment.
Ooh, Danny, what's an illumination key?
Illumination key. That's a great question. Okay, so if I can find the oh wait, no, it's not. I remember it is. I'm sorry. Illumination keys are at the bottom of your character sheet. These are your experience points. This is where you get experience. So, like for example, on the Slink criminal, it says do something illegal, make a deal, or stand up to authority. And if you do one of those things at the end of the session, we basically ask like, how many did you accomplish any one of your illumination keys? And if they did, they get experience for that. Stuff like that.
One of mine
Yes,
is act bizarre.
Damn, you're
Perfect, you already did it.
I'm in like
Oh
level 20 already.
I'm so happy.
Do we tell everyone our things or no?
I'm so glad I asked.
You don't have to. No, you could leave it as a surprise for now. But you know, it's whatever. It's not really something you have to like tell people. It's just kind of a goal for yourself.
Can I?
Oh,
I forgot to do one of my relationships, I think.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Can I consent, of course, is very important, but can I have a secret crush on Novell?
You have a crush on your bully. Sure.
that's
Bully me, please.
fanfic starts right now.
I love this.
It is called The Clown is a Frenchman.
You're such a problem. I love it. I love it for us.
I'm sure that's already a movie, The Clown and the It's got to be.
It's also a French movie.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd just be the clown and Jeff.
You wouldn't get it.
I don't understand what's happening.
Good.
Oh, okay. So, does everyone have relationships that they're done handing out? Anyone want
I'm
to?
good.
Okay. Cool.
What was
So-
Spice Ginger's relationship with Dirth? I didn't remember.
Oh, did
hearing
I forget that one too? Oh shit, I'm so sorry. Ooh.
First pumpkin.
Maybe
Worship. No, I'm just kidding.
God.
I think the co-worker thing works well. I think we're for both co-workers. Yeah.
Okay.
Crush. Co-workers.
Yeah, that's what I said.
We're gonna speed through the circle creation really fast because I don't think we really need a lot of this right now. But think of some themes that kind of unify you guys, and think of what you guys would name your circle, which is like your party, your group of investigators. And let me know if you guys come up with anything you like. They typically start with the circle of ...
The circle.
We'll do it in post.
The circle of the
Do it in
esoteric
post?
pairs.
Yeah, let's have that information when we get to have a second sesh.
Fantastic. Maybe you'll name yourselves today. Last thing then is you get to choose one circle ability altogether. So I'm going to read them off and you guys let me know what sounds interesting. It's not a huge deal. Like it's not going to make your game if you choose one over the other. So just choose what sounds fun. The first one is stamina training. Your circle has 3 gilded dice at the beginning of every assignment that anyone can add as plus
good pull.
1 die to any roll. Once the dice been rolled, it's expended.
Got it.
That's a good one. Nobody left behind is when a member of your circle drops incapacitated from taking too many marks. Any roll a player makes in the scene to protect them or get them out of danger gets a bonus die. In this together is when you spend drive to help an ally on a roll. On a result of 3 or less, you both get back 1 drive point of your choice.
That'll be good for Lee.
Yes, that's like I think the first.
Yeah,
one
all
or
of my
the third one.
abilities are like spend your drive, and you guys are just like 3 times per this. You get them like, wait, mine are
Hold
expensive.
up. Yes, yours.
Let
is
me lose a
expensive. You
drive
get
to make sure
wounded.
I take your wound.
Interdisciplinary is when choosing a new ability during. Nope, that's one for later. The last one is more of a campaign one too. So I would honestly recommend either the first one or the third one for like a shorter game or shorter campaign sessions. Is there anything that sounds attractive to you guys?
Gilded Die probably makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But
You
I
cool with
like
that?
No One Gets Left Behind, but that's more of a personal dearth thing, not so much a circle thing. So
Okay.
I'm down with the Gilded.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that one then. So stamina training. So just remember that you guys have 3 dice that you can use to expend that are gilded as a +1 die. That is it
Cool.
for the circle creation. We'll just moving on. And just the last thing we need to do then before we get started with this is go over any lines and veils safety tools. I don't want to make you guys like write out everything in, chat. So I'm going to assume that we have like the normal stuff that we normally
The one
have
we
in our
always
normal
have.
game. Yeah. Are there any other things that you have that you want to add to our lines of veils? You can type it in our chat if you want, if you don't want to put it out on, like the stream, or you can just say it and it's up to you. Does anyone have any like horror related themes? I think for what I have in mind
Nothing
today.
Nothing scary.
Nothing scary.
Nothing that's like
Let
nothing
me-
that's like
Good night, Lee Goldberg.
spooky.
I think
Nothing-
maybe like don't
Nothing
do anything
spooky.
Yeah, or anything like Lovecraftian, maybe just none of that.
Yeah.
Fey
that.
folk out. Just
Mm.
anything Fey
More
related.
tentacles.
No, no
Don't want
ghosts,
the
please. No
to take
ghosts.
More
that.
tentacles, but also like less tentacles. Like
Amazing.
The lines cancel each other out. No.
Yes.
Don't
No
do that.
foot- I want it to be like a footloose town, so like no dancing either.
Mm.
Dancing
Oh,
ghosts.
ghosts. See you,
Yeah,
Spice.
I don't like ghosts.
We're
No dancing.
Baptist here, I guess. Yes.
That's a wrap for me.
Mhm.
All right, no, I have
Really-
nothing else other than our standard fare,
Cool.
really.
Standard
Okay.
fare.
Got it.
I'm pretty afraid
Content
of
warning for the
lines.
scenario I picked is death of a spouse and animal violence. How are we feeling about those things? I can.
Mine's already
always change
dead,
things.
so
That's true. I
Did
guess
you
we
kill
really
my
screwed
wife
that up.
already?
What kind of animal violence are we talking?
It is veiled. It is not like
Okay.
we're not going to be describing animals being hurt actively.
That's fine.
Yes,
Yeah, I
but
think
it will
that's
be.
the-
It should be.
Yeah,
should be
that's fine.
veiled.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome.
All right,
Lovely.
you got
So
30
safety
minutes.
tools. We got 30 minutes to bang this one out, you guys. Here we go.
All right, let's go.
out
Let's
in
go.
half an hour. Tell you what.
All right. All right. So, quick note, setting wise, this, and it fits with a lot with like what Lee was saying, but this world is set very much in like turn of the century, kind of Europe, a little bit of inspiration from everywhere across the world, to be honest, but it's definitely got like World War One and between World War One and Two vibes. There's been a great war in this land that really devastated the people of Old Fair, which is where, or New Fair, which is where you live. New Fair is built upon the ruins of a city that was demolished ages ago by magic that corrupted and destroyed the land that it was used in, and we call that place Old Fair. And so a lot of the architecture here is very, in a way, think like Rome, where there's ruins and then there's like modern things around. The magic here is all corruptive. Anytime you encounter some source of magic, it emanates what's called bleed, which is this kind of presence of, I don't know, it corrupts you if you touch it, interact with it, the creatures that it affects. And very often you can be corrupted yourself or die if you interact with it. It's very rare for people in your world to have their own magic. except for in instances with like occultists or mediums who have their own ways of kind of channeling it from a distance. And you are members of Candela Obscura, an organization that is committed to trying to maintain and find these sources of bleed throughout the world, to make sure that nobody is hurt by the harmful effects of magic and the effects that it has on people. I think that is all you need to know about this world. So let's get started with a little opening and take a moment. All right. You are a camera, and you're zooming in on what looks to be a hand grasping almost like this fine thread as it runs along. It almost looks like spider silk. And as you follow this finger and thread, it reaches what looks to be a hand, a pale human hand that is being dangled. And this thread is being tied around the different fingers, the wrists of this hand. And you can see the hand being manipulated into a sort of pose, almost like a marionette string is controlling this. And as you follow this camera, as it looks along the actions of whatever this person is doing to pose and stage this other hand, it zooms out and you see that this hand belongs to a woman, and she's very still, very pale, dark hair, neatly arranged in a bun behind her neck, wearing a beautiful dress, probably her Sunday best. And she is bent over what looks to be a desk with a quill in hand and a piece of paper, her hand placed to the paper. The man steps back, finishing what work he has done. He has posed this woman, and as he steps back, we see that he stands behind a camera. Across the room, in the background, you see a desk labeled Oscar Enfield, postmortem photographer. And you see that this woman is not alive. She has been posed into this sort of macabre moment of her life. It's capturing a moment of something she must have loved doing. And she's writing. You look at the man as he steps behind the camera, and you see that he has this just devastated expression on his face, and a tear rolls down his face as he positions the camera and gets it ready to take the photograph. And you see a flash as it takes the photo. He wipes the tear from his face and steps back, and he looks at her for a moment, and he says, "You're as beautiful as the day I married you, Nora." He pauses a moment, soaking it in. When he hears a bell ringing, we turn and look. The door that you can see slightly through the hallway, it looks to be that a customer has come through the storefront, and he quickly walks out of the room. We pan back to the desk, and you can see a small clock, time ticking by as 25 minutes pass. The camera turns back to the door, and he walks quickly back into the office room, holding a big box in his hands, looking slightly, what is it? He looks like he was busy with something. And we see him, his eyes widen as he drops the box in shock. And the camera quickly turns back to where Nora was sitting, and we only see an empty chair. Looking around frantically, he runs out of the room. we viewers turn back to this chair again. And noting something that he didn't see in the rush that he was in, you can see that on the seat where her corpse was, there still remains this inky black shadow echoing the position that Nora was seated in. And we suddenly hear from a different direction than he left. It looks to be coming from the back of the office, a somewhat startled scream or yelp. It sounds like something small. And you see a small spatter of blood hit the back window. You all are members of Candela Obscura, and you have been called into an assignment with your lightkeeper, Leilani. She is a middle-aged woman, slightly graying hair, very elegant, and stands very tall. Her brown skin warm, like she's enjoyed some time in the sun. And she welcomes you, members of the circle. We have a new assignment today. There seems to have been some strange occurrence with a photographer. It looks that there's just been something going on with these photographs. A shadow was left behind, and it reeks of bleed. We need to know what caused this, and if it could cause any hurt or pain to anyone else. We need to stop this phenomenon before it spreads.
Was there any dancing involved?
Well,
Did you see any
not that I
footprints?
know of. There were not footprints, but I could say that the posing apparently of this profession is very reminiscent of a sort of marionette, but I don't think that there was any dancing actually involved.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, we got this one, don't we, guys?
Good. Well, it will be in Briar Green. Speak to Mr. Enfield, and he will tell you what happened.
Cheers.
Perfect.
All right. So, anyone have anything to pick up or purchase before we head that way?
I mean, the usual items that we take, or other.
Well, I got my funny crossbow. Look at this. Yes, you pulled the trigger, honk, and you hear this little honk honk of like a little, instead of a trigger, it's like a little nose, clown nose. Honk, honk, honk.
You're so fucking loud.
I'm sure that
I
will
just
be
like push
quite
that down.
useful.
Spice, when you honk that crossbow, does it actually shoot things, or is it just a prop, like a prop toy?
It shoots things when it's loaded. Yeah.
What do you end up shooting when you honk it?
Well, it's not loaded at the moment. But
Okay.
if it was loaded, it's just
Shooting-
like a little orange-colored dart.
Oh, my apologies. I thought you'd be shooting down your own dignity, but
Oh, you Novell.
I say we
Spice-
just take our standard fare and head over there to see if everyone's okay.
I suppose so. It's just considering preparations and all. Sounds good.
very well. I'll take my press credentials. Maybe. Oh, well, a camera was used, so I'll take a camera.
Yes, camera would be very. No, I guess it would be a good idea to bring. I don't know what the circumstances will call for, but you're prepared.
Possibly.
So, do we have like
figuring
a
out how it
briefing on
happened.
this guy?
A briefing. Yes, you know that this man is a post-mortem photographer, and essentially what you've been told is that when he was doing some post-mortem photography, the body of his wife seemingly walked up and ran away, leaving her shadow behind. There's no evidence of anyone coming or going from the room. that was alive at least.
Is the photographer alive, or was that the blood splat?
Yes. The photographer is alive.
I guess we should talk to the guy.
I think before that, let's see if we can get sort of a lay of the land, see if we can pick up anything sort of around there before we go right to questioning. It'd be nice to maybe have a little bit more info before we go right on in.
Well, I mean, we could ask how he's doing, if he's okay. It was his wife. He was taking pictures of her dead. That's what we
So
deal
may not
with is
already be
weird, but
okay.
that's weird.
Right.
How much preparation do we really need? I mean,
I'm not
she'll be
talking
out.
about preparation. I'm simply saying we maybe scope out the area before we go question this photographer.
Yeah, maybe
gotcha,
don't
mate.
talk to this
Gotcha.
guy.
Gotcha.
Spicy. Probably not dancing or a ghost, so you know, you might make him uneasy. You know.
No.
with the
I
whole-
think possibly you should just go straight up to him and talk to him, Spice. Yes, just go straight up and start going. Yep.
Never failed us before.
Well, there was that one time I had to fight off what I can only describe as were hamsters, and they were big and they bit hard.
Didn't someone
Yes, this is
describe
why
them as
I
like
was
miniature giant space hamsters or something?
space hamsters.
They went
Yes,
for my
miniature
eyes.
ones.
Is there something in your
They went-
coffee?
Oh, well, I mean, it's a fact that there's actually nothing in my coffee and I need another one, so.
I know. Thanks. And you look down and the mug isn't there anymore and it's in his hand.
What are you doing?
Okay, so I'm gonna go get in the car. Do any you guys want to go?
Yes, I'm
Just
taking my
having a bit of
handgun.
fun. Places it back down and gets up.
I'm so taking my handgun.
You guys take your car and you head to Briargreen, to the photography shop that you were given the address of for Mr. Renfield. You said you wanted to explore around the area, or did you want to talk to him first?
I'd like to explore the area a little bit, but
Okay.
folks
Where would you like to
can do the chattings first if they want.
Sure. Are you going to stay back while everyone talks? Like, are you going to?
It's one of those like kind of like the once around like lap just to see if there's anything. Oh, hello there. So it won't in Eyes' mind, it won't take too long.
Okay.
So if anything, I'll probably walk into the middle of that.
Okay. Lovely. So you all walk into the photography shop. You see what looks to be a storefront. There is like a simple counter with framed pictures all along the walls. You see different people posed in these beautiful small moments. You see a mother holding her son. You see a young boy sitting and playing with some toy blocks, and you see just some other different pictures of people enjoying their lives. The only difference is that you notice that in some of these pictures, one of the subjects typically is very, very still, and their eyes are glazed over, unblinking.
I'm
You
gonna
just
get
see me like get the camera and just go.
I'm gonna get really close to it and have a staring competition.
Do we have a cover when we do these things?
You. For the general purposes of like lore wise, most people do not actually know that magic
Right.
exists. It is covered up by certain like authorities, like branches of like government that tries to keep it hidden from people. Supposedly to keep people from panicking. Who knows? But
So
typically people don't
I'll
know.
go up to the photographer, since we are currently like snooping and it's gonna get more and more difficult to calm. And I will pull out I have a really good like counterfeit like badge for like as a detective, like, and so I'll flash it kind of quick. I'll be like, hey, this Novell, would you come with me on this one since you're a chatty cat?
Absolutely. I'm also part of the press.
Yeah,
this is
so
all-
I'm a detective at the precinct down there. This is what do you go by Novell? Just because you're also like an actual uh journalist.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my associate Novell. You know, we like to have a journalist that comes with us in these investigations because when they're a little bit weird, it's good to have someone that can keep things honest and make sure that everybody knows, what's really going on. So he digs deep, but I am so sorry that your dead wife went missing. That is a head scratcher, huh?
Yes, she is very indeed. Yes, she's just so young. I want to know what happened to her, but could you please get that out of my face?
Oh yeah, Novell, take a step just a little bit back. I'm
Oh,
so
sure.
sorry.
Yes, of
He's
course.
I just-
he,
I'm in mourning here. I just want to know what happened to her body. Will you be able to bring her home?
I'm gonna do my gosh darndest, and if anyone can investigate what's really going on, as this guy over here. Anyway, so you take the pictures. You take the pictures of the bodies. That's the thing you do for money. I would assume.
Yes.
This is your job.
Yes. It's very common here. It's for us to take pictures of the deceased and in poses of things that they used to love to do to remember them and as they were before passing on. And this was her time to be photographed. Her funeral is going to be tomorrow, and well, I don't know. We'll have to put it off now, I suppose.
Well, gosh almighty, how did that even what happened? I'm so sorry she was so young and you were so in love. What happened here?
Let me take you to the back room and I'll explain. He walks you to the room where he shoots lots of different props and things off to one side. It looks like a studio. One wall is very blank with a backdrop. And you can see that everything is still positioned here. He hasn't touched anything or moved anything. And in the center of this backdrop, placed behind a small writing desk, you can see a chair with an unmoving shadow still seated on it.
I'd probably wave, since he's sort of being cool with us being here and things like that. I'd probably wave in eyes and for the life of me, Spice Ginger, to look at the actual scene, since eyes definitely, this is more his wheelhouse than any of us.
It also, I would like to speak to the man as well.
Yeah, I'll let you, now that he's kind of just calm, like now that he has an idea why we're here, I'll sort of join eyes and let you face him up.
So I'm going to use what was it? I'm going to I think it's this one. Hold on. Yeah. You know how I came after you this one time. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to reveal something about myself. So something personal, which is funny because I know how you feel. By the way, my wife died, a year ago. Strange circumstances, and ever since then, with stuff happening.
Strange. You mean like this?
Similar, yeah, but not exactly this, but similar. So I understand it. You're not alone, huh? Not alone. But I have. If there's anything strange that happened, you can absolutely tell me. because out of everyone here, I'm going to understand.
Yeah, so okay. Hold on a moment. And he walks back to through like a curtain and comes back with a developed photograph. He hands it to you without looking at it, and he says, when I developed it, this is what I found. And he gives it to you, and you can see this photo of his wife, Nora, but she's not looking down at this letter or poem that she was writing. Instead, the photograph shows that she's staring straight into the barrel of the lens, and there is a hunger in her face.
Well, one thing I could probably say about this is that is definitely out of the ordinary. What do I? So okay, as
Yes.
Nouvelle, currently has a camera. He's experienced with cameras, very experienced. Could Nouvelle look at this this picture and deduce whether something hinky's going on? Other
Oh,
than
let's see here.
other than just the fact that it's fucked.
We're all in Fargo. We're all in Fargo now.
So you're looking at the photograph and trying to just okay. Roll me a read.
Basically, so this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But if anything else comes up, cool. Has this photo as it was being taken actually been modified by bleed? So basically, like something weird happened to the photo as well, and it's actually a catalyst of some description.
Roll them dice, baby.
That's a great. Yes, I'm gonna let you roll either. I'm gonna say either read or sense.
I'm gonna
There's even
roll.
an
I'm
argument
gonna.
made for survey. It's up
Yeah,
to you.
I'm a roll read.
Okay.
So I got a diamond thingy, and I got 2 black circles.
Wonderful. So you're gonna
That's
roll
circles.
2 dice. One of them is gilded,
Okay.
and you're gonna tell me your
cool.
highest roll.
2 dice. One of them is gilded. So I'll just roll this.
Can I
now.
give him can I use a drive to give him a third die
Yes. So he's rolling.
to describe how I'm helping, kind of a thing?
Yeah. I would love for you to describe how you're helping.
I think I would probably, since I'd spent some time with eyes, I would kind of come over and just sort of tell him everything that I kind of like, the things that I noticed that he might be looking for, and he looks in there. So I'm just kind of giving him like talking about the shadow and all that kind of thing. So it's just, if it helps like refresh his memory on some past things or things we've learned at the circle. So it just kind of help narrow the focus of what you're looking for and give you
Yes.
one
Go
of
ahead
my
and
drives.
spend one of
to
your
roll
spend one of your cunning.
Does it,
Since I believe
is it gilded when you give one over or no?
no, it's just a normal one. Some abilities I think let you do that, but I don't believe yours had any of that. So yes, so Dan, sorry, Nouvelle.
Nouvelle.
You're gonna roll 3 dice.
Some people say
One of them will be
Nouvelle,
gilded.
but, absolutely, let's get this out there. The best. Oh, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. So it's a 5 on the gilded
Okay.
die.
5 on the gilded. Wonderful. So you get a cunning if you have any that are empty. And then I believe
What if they're
think
full?
if they're full, then you don't get anything, unfortunately.
Can I have it back? I'm just kidding.
I think there is an ability somewhere where you can do that, but I don't think we chose it. So you look at this photograph, looking for any way that it could be doctored. This photo technology is pretty rudimentary. It is one of the earliest forms of photography. There's not any way that he could have faked the amount of like life that you see in her eyes, the emotion. That is absolutely not doctored at all. Yeah.
So, I've had experience. What was your name?
Mr. Enfield.
Enfield, Mr. Enfield. I've had a lot of experience with cameras and photos and so on. As a journalist, this is pretty genuine. There's nothing that's switching, changing the photo. Something has happened here.
Because you rolled a mixed success, you are going to, as you hold this photograph, you know that it is not doctored by him, but you sense that there's something slightly off about it. You feel a sort of feeling. You're going to take a mark of bleed. That means you're going to fill in one of the slots over bleed. And I want you to explain to me what it feels like when you encounter magic.
Hold on, just filling in the stuff.
These are like your hit
Okay.
points.
A shudder goes sort of down as he looks at the photo, and for a brief second, this woman in the photo, a flash just switches to his wife, Novelle's wife, as he blinks and then blinks again, and it's back to Enfield's deceased wife. And he goes, he drops the photo onto the ground, just kind of clutches his hand. This is something definitely wrong with that photo. Thank you for showing me. He clears his throat, adjusts his glasses, and just kind of walks over to the rest of the group.
Lovely. Eyes, yes.
Just want to resolve some timey-wiminess. So
Let's do it.
So
Meanwhile,
outside for a bit while folks were walking in, did like sort of a round before encountering Dearth before that happened. So just wanted to see if there's anything that I picked up on while I was outside.
Yes. So would you like to go ahead and roll me a survey roll?
I would love to.
Okay, fantastic.
So it should be 2 dice for me. That's a 5.
Ooh, okay. You walk around the shop, the perimeter of it, keeping an eye out for anything that seems odd. The storefront of this shop faces out onto a somewhat busy street set in the city or in the part of the city called Briar Green, which is very like is it called collegiate? It's like a college town, part of town. So a lot of people are, going to and fro, but they all have places to be. So nobody seems to really notice you. And as you walk around this perimeter of this shop, you see this sort of high grass that's been overgrown a little bit towards the back. And as you get a bit closer, you are, first of all, going to take a body mark as you step on something sharp and piercing. And
shit,
you notice that below your foot, where you stepped, you lift it up and you see that there's something broken and mangled beneath your foot. And following that line, you see some grass that has been trampled over or had something dragged along it, and there is a trail of blood, and what you stepped on looks to be the bones, like the broken bones that are jutting out of the body of a small creature.
Seeing that as like the pain is like reminding him of its existence. Just bought these shoes.
You shake it off, knowing that there is a cobbler, that you are familiar with. He's repaired these shoes a couple times. And you look to the side and you actually see a window that looks into the room that the others are standing in right now. It provides some nice lighting for the studio, and you kind of like peek through and you can see them talking as Mr. Enfield hands Duval a small slip of something, which is the photograph.
Perfect. And then sort of speeding things up. That's kind of pass back on in.
Yeah, you kind of
hobble on in. As I pass by Dirth. Don't walk over there. It's not a sight to see. And keep an eye on your shoes.
Yeah, do walk over here, and I will take my bleed detector that I brought.
Amazing.
I don't know what they do, but I'm detecting.
So cool.
But I want to use it.
You're gonna take
and I
your
would
bleed
like
detector.
I would like to kind of survey the shadow on the chair.
Yes.
And just see basically what I can detect about the situation. And I'll also just kind of be like, Eyes, you've been at this longer. These things here, is there a familiarity in other cases you've done? But I want to check it out in my
Yes, please. So I would like you to can you actually roll like a sense roll for me?
a sense roll.
The stakes for this are very low. So if you like
Good, because the
make a
stats for
mistake-
this are very non-existent.
Great.
I'd like to burn an intuition drive to help
Yes.
as we're having this
Perfect.
conversation.
Then I shall
Um,
roll one die.
Yes.
It smells different. When I say smells, I don't mean it in the physical sense of smell. I mean it in the sense of the mind.
I'm so sorry. I did not hear you. I was too busy getting a two. Yeah, it does smell bad in here.
Yes, you were like very distracted kind of with this detector kind of moving around. What does this bleed detector look like? Think of it in a way as kind of like those like EMT, what is it? The devices that
Straight
detect
up,
ghosts.
the only
EMF?
thing I can think of is an EKG meter from Ghostbusters.
Totally. Okay. So you have like a very it's cobbled together with lots of wires and things. It's hard to tell what really actually is doing something versus what's just stuck on there. And
I'm
you
doing
walk
it
around the
discreetly
room
though, because
with
I don't
this.
want this.
Okay.
Because we're supposed to be obscura-ing
Yes.
this thing and not letting this guy
Yes.
know how bad stuff could be. So I'm like,
Yeah.
anytime my back is to the guy is when I'm sort of like me.
Perfect. Yeah, and as you go past the chair, it's like there's like a little spinny dial on it that keeps it from being loud. And so as soon as it gets near the chair, it starts spinning like really, really fast. And you see that it's got to be indicating the shadow on the chair.
The spinny thing's spinning. I knew it. I'm very good at this.
You know what? I'll give you one other thing. You continue to walk around the room, and you actually notice that it's also picking up on something else. It's not just the chair. As you pass by the camera that's posed in front of the scene, it also starts spinning wildly. And actually, it might even be going faster.
Hey, what's the guy's name again?
Mr. Enfield?
Mr. Enfield. This is a beautiful camera you got right here. Is it the one you always use?
Oh, no, it's actually a refurbished one that I bought recently. It's all right. I was hoping that I could fix it up a little bit more, but Yeah, well,
You
I'm
don't
having a little
say.
bit of
Hey,
trouble with
where
it.
did you buy that there?
Some place called the Cracked Lens. They do different camera repairs, new and old, all that sort of thing.
Great.
Was
Why?
That's
the
great.
photo that I don't know how to pronounce it. Nuvels dropped in the
Mhm.
shadow?
No, so
Neville.
Neville dropped the
Neville.
photo, and it's just kind of in the
Neville.
center of the floor right now. It's not
Okay.
within any sort of mysterious.
Is there any like candlelight like that's like able to like be picked up and moved?
It's a little
Uh,
obscure.
Or any light sources?
you are within. It is about midday. So there is light streaming through the window that you were looking through. There's also another light on the other side of the room. You could go stand in either window.
Well, the intent is to
Yeah.
try to get light to interact with this shadow.
Ooh, I love that. Okay. Uh, let's see here. You have glasses.
Yeah.
You could choose to use them to try to reflect some light. Do you want to try to do that?
Not the ones on his face.
Hmm.
Reaches into a trench coat and takes out another pair.
Lovely. I will have you roll a control for this because you're going to try to kind of finesse the angle and everything.
Love that for me. Okay, cool.
Okay, what'd you get?
Oh, 6. Let's go.
Ooh. All right. Okay, our first hard success. So
Hard AF.
yes, you use these lenses to aim the light at this shadow on the chair, correct? Yes, and wherever the light hits on this shadow, it almost seems to like kind of withdraw away from it. It's almost like it's a living shadow. While you can hit it, it almost seems uncomfortable with it. It doesn't like the presence of it. Um, it doesn't go away, but it does seem like it's reacting badly.
Yeah, and like the way that he's like doing that is he's starting at the floor and slowly climbing up the side of the chair, maneuvering it back to the middle. You all seeing this?
You see that Nouvelle is visibly shaken. What are we looking at?
Well, last I checked, light and shadow typically, I wouldn't exactly go ahead and say opposites attract, but it typically doesn't behave quite like this.
Like a bad
No.
magnet.
Sort of, in a manner of speaking, I suppose.
This is
And so he'll kind of like maneuver it like faster and faster and faster just to see if there's like an additional reaction, and then like behind the chair and just to see like the scope of it.
Yes. Okay. So you're kind of looking to, let's do a bit of a read because you're going to try to like gather some information on this.
Okay.
Or actually, this could be a focus. It's up to you. I'll let you choose.
Same roll.
Okay.
5.
Lovely. You move this light back and forth quicker to try to see if it has any type of reaction. And it does seem to slow it down a little. It seems like wherever the light passes through, it refills in like the cracks, but then it does it at a slower pace than the rest of it. It catches up. And as you keep messing with this shadow with the light, trying to like finagle your way to find out more about it, you take the light and the angle of it kind of bounces off the window a little bit more and like magnifies a little bit more of the light. And suddenly it seems like the shadow isn't just like reforming back in on itself. It seems like it's spilling over. And as it spills over the chair, it seems to multiply and grow. And suddenly the room is filling with this sort of fog light shadow that is growing and growing and growing.
We need to go. No.
Far out.
I'm gonna
Looks
try
rooted, mate.
well, I'm gonna push
And-
the guy who's
Mhm.
here. I'm going to brusquely and making it seem very like this is like totally normal, but I'm gonna get him the hell out of this building.
Yes, and as you turn to rush and get him out of the building, you see it moving faster than before, the light unable to contain it as it cuts you off from the rest of the room. And that's where we're going to end today because
Perfect.
we don't got time to keep this baby going.
No, that's
We are
perfect.
going to get back to this on another Cancellation Chaotic Candela Obscura night.
Yeah.
The C words and with
Let's
one O.
see.
That was great, Danny. You did awesome.
Thank you, friend.
Daddy,
So
you were
good at this.
great. Woo.
That was my first time GMing online at all, I think.
Was it?
I'm gonna
Thank you.
put you in the same
you're
vein as
also a liar,
Hope and
just
say
like
that
Hope.
you were a liar.
Oh,
I don't think you're
did.
lying, but I think you did a great job.
I love you guys.
okay, I
Thank
think
you,
you're right.
everybody who's still viewing, for coming along this little journey with us and watching our
That was
fun
fun.
little character building session.
Yeah.
We hope that you had a really good time, and we will see you again.
Happy holidays and
Goodbye.
see you
Next
all.
week.
Perhaps
Yes,
in the new
see you
year.
soon.
Happy New Year, maybe. Who knows? All right.
Happy New Year!